Brain teasers, blacklights, and balance sheets. I'm Chris McCulloch.
And I'm Ashley Minnick, and this is our ELS submission.
In the fall of 2016, with escape rooms taking over city after city in the United States, we decided to create our own accounting-themed escape room to engage our first-year financial accounting students.
So our goal was to present learning objectives like critical thinking and leadership, as well as financial statement content in a fun and engaging way, and we couldn't be more happy with how things turned out.
Overall, the concept was similar to most basic escape rooms. Participants, in this case students, were locked in a room with brief instructions, given clues, and 45 minutes to escape.
So in order to escape, students had to solve puzzles, piece together clues, and of course, most importantly, incorporate the concepts and the skills that they learned in their introductory financial accounting class.
As Ashley stated earlier, our goal was to engage students with the material in a fun and exciting way. And with the hype around escape rooms, we thought it served as the perfect opportunity. So we listed out learning objectives, we turned an office on campus into an escape room, and we posted a sign-up sheet outside the door.
Now keep in mind, this escape room's not exactly like the ones that you'll see elsewhere. Education and learning objectives, that was the primary focus. So unlike other rooms, participants actually needed background knowledge in accounting as it was tested in the room. Additionally, they did have to go through a debriefing session afterwards to ensure the objectives were actually met.
It's true, but in terms of fun, intrigue, competition, and all the general sort of feeling that goes with an escape room, we think that our room's on par with any in Kansas City. We really did spend a lot of time thinking about how we were going to create the room and designing the features of it. And in fact, we're going to give you a brief summary of how we did it. We started the project by jotting down what learning objectives we wanted to capture with the first year's pilot. We knew from a brief literature review that there were a few objectives that were inherent to the activity itself, like problem solving and critical thinking.
However, we also wanted to incorporate objectives specific to the financial accounting class, so we turned to the syllabus and we said, what are one or two primary objectives here that we would want to focus on in the pilot?
And we decided upon preparing financial statements, analyzing those financial statements, and calculating and interpreting financial statement ratios. Our next few steps went rather quickly. We tried out a few escape rooms to get the feel of the rooms.
We spoke with room proprietors and got their advice in building a room.
We searched for ideas and clues in flea markets and antique shops.
And after getting a general idea of how and where we thought we'd create the room, we set a date on the calendar for the fall 2016 break.
To keep our budget under $300, we got permission to turn an empty office on campus into our escape room. And we started the building process by mapping out all the clues, decor, objects, and all the items that we had in the room with sticky notes.
Yep. And then we went on to price everything we needed to ensure we could do everything under budget. So to assist you with building your own escape room, we've included a detailed breakdown of items purchased, the vendor, and the cost, and the activity materials.
Yeah, and in choosing our clues and materials, we tried to design problem-solving activities that were cheap and simple to construct, but creative. For example, we used false bottoms and drawers. We chose a room with a window so that we could hide clues outside the room and get students to think outside the box. And we even added in some black light features.
One of the best pieces of advice the room proprietors gave us is that you have to have a theme that your room follows, both in clues and objectives. We decided on accounting fraud, providing the students with the perceived goal of finding the real set of books.
Yeah, and we took our directive pretty seriously. Right down to the opening video students would experience to begin the room. Here's a quick snip of what that video looks like.
Within the last 2 decades, fraud has run rampant in corporate America. Through stock options, earnings management, and financial manipulation, greed has manifested in every aspect of business. While most sit back and do nothing, we have decided the status quo simply won't do. You have been hired by an unnamed group to help stop the flow of corruption. Although it may seem like any other room, you are standing in the office of another corrupt CEO. Your task? Find the real set of books and calculate your way out of the room. Your time begins now.
Well, after a good deal of purchasing, installing, writing, etc., we finally had the room created. The actual creation of the room took about 2 full 8-hour days with 2 people.
The activity was designed for an introductory financial accounting course, and focus was placed on students' familiarity with the financial statements as well as their ability to analyze them.
So before actually launching the activity in class, we had 3 beta test groups: faculty, senior audit students, and intermediate to accounting students. So based upon their feedback, we made slight modifications to the room and then opened it up to the intro students.
And just for context, we offer about 2 sections of introductory financial accounting courses each semester, and those courses typically hold 25 to 30 students per course. Additionally, students were offered a nominal amount of extra credit to sign up for the activity, and they did so in groups of 4 to 5.
We opened the room once the semester was about 3/4 of the way complete. The room was kept open for 4 to 5 days, and students could go sign up and complete the activity. Afterwards, the room was taken down. We offered it in both fall 2016 and spring 2017.
Before entering in the room, students signed a liability waiver, and once they got inside the room and started their activity, we monitored it through an iPad that was placed in the room using AirPlay, so we didn't actually need cameras. Additionally, students were given a walkie-talkie to communicate with us inside the room if they needed it. Each participant group went through a short debriefing session after completing the activity. During that time, they were asked for their verbal feedback as well as to fill out an assessment tool. Overall, the response was great.
Yeah, most students had nothing but positive comments. On a scale from 1 to 10, about 90% rated the room as requiring or enhancing their critical thinking and leadership skills as an 8 or above. Additionally, roughly 72% of students rated the room as requiring or enhancing financial statement knowledge as an 8 or above.
What I love most about this activity was watching students engage with material. When stepping in that room, financial statements were no longer something that was boring or tedious or just something they had to get through for class. All of a sudden, they became a clue. And it was so interesting to watch students pore over them, engaging, analyzing, and discussing the material.
Yeah, it was awesome. Initially, we were going to try out the pilot just during the fall semester, but the activity went over so well that we were asked by the students and the Office of Admission to do it again.
We're so grateful for the opportunity to apply for this award and the related grant. And if given the opportunity, there's 3 modifications we would make to this project going forward.
So the first modification would be to expand the activity to targeted groups in the community. Specifically, we have reached out to local high schools in the area, offering accounting courses to chat about their interest in participating. We would love to be able to offer the free activity to local high school students to get them excited about accounting.
Yeah, and to that end, we would like to use the additional $2,500 in funding to modify for a more permanent space on campus. Currently, we're using an office on campus that can host the activity, but it's not a long-term solution. And we're limited in the amount of construction we can do as well as the number of students it can hold because we know that this office will be an office again. With a small amount of funding, we would be able to renovate an already identified space on campus to host this activity on a more permanent basis going forward.
So finally, we'd like to develop a better evaluation tool. During this pilot test, we created a very simplified assessment. We'd like to spend more time working through the assessment and debriefing process so we can ensure with more confidence that objectives are being met.
Overall, we had a great time seeing how much students engaged and learned during this activity, and we'd like to say thank you to you for considering our submission.
We really appreciate the opportunity to share with the accounting community and learn from others at the conference.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you in August.